Welcome to Energetics TV. Benedict published his best wishes for 2014 on his blog, and I'd like to find out more about it. You wrote about the flat gas markets, but you say that the decrease of the gas prices would be a welcome relief to the markets in Europe. Why is that?
Well, first of all, there's a big difference between the gas price in Europe and the USA, with prices in the USA being in the range of 10 euros per megawatt hour and prices in Europe being 26 to 28 euros per megawatt hour. So there's a lot of competitive pressure coming from that. The other thing is it's impossibly flat. Every analyst in the gas market has, his main concern in the last year was not to fall asleep, because the market hardly moves. And it would be very welcome for buyers of gas that we would see a drop in those prices and have an opportunity finally make some fixings, because in the last 3 years we didn't have any opportunities to make some good fixings. It would also be a very welcome relief for power producers, because of the current combination of electricity and gas prices makes that their profits of gas-fired power stations have really been slashed.
Yeah, okay. And you've been really concerned about the power markets too. How come?
Well, concerned. The power markets are historically low, which has created a massive buying opportunity in the last months. And again, the year starts quite good with call 15 prices dropping, and so everything is looking very well. But we all have to realize that at some point this downtrend will end, and it will start to go up again. And there could be some signs on the horizon that this might be coming. I'm not making any forecasts here, but I'm just pointing out some trends that we have to watch very carefully. One of which is, for example, the closure of power plants. I've just explained these really bad economics at this moment for gas-fired power plants, which means that power companies in Europe are shutting down plants, and at some point they will shut down so many that the price will start to increase. But there could also be some regulatory influence on the wholesale power markets. I'm thinking, for example, about in many countries, mechanisms to produce more renewable energy are being revised, and policymakers could take that a step too far, causing markets to increase. We have to watch very carefully about what Europe is going to do with its emission trading system, because roughly speaking, every €1 per ton increase in emission rights prices is €0.5 per megawatt hour increase in power prices. So if they would manage at some point of really doing something that pushes up that emission rights prices again to 30-40 euros like we've seen in the past, we would see a very big increase and fast increase in power prices.
Despite the fact that the wholesale prices are very low, you're a bit afraid of an increase. Can you explain that?
Yeah, what we've been seeing in the last years is a rapid increase of the total cost of power. In some countries like Italy or Spain or Germany, mostly Germany, and also the southern part of Belgium, we now see that the commodity part is 50 or even just 33% of the total bill, and grid fees and mostly taxes are taking an increasingly big share of that. Policymakers seem to realize this, and in most of the countries are thinking about reviewing these taxes, and the biggest part of those taxes in those countries is the money you need to subsidize renewable energy. But I'm not too confident that they will realize a change in legislation that cuts that cost. I'm rather afraid that they will take non-measures, stopping the further development of renewable energy and not leading to a real cost decrease. And on top of that, we see that on the one hand, these politicians, they worry about the increases due to the whole renewable energy support. But then they say, well, because we have all that renewable now, we need to subsidize gas-fired power station to deal with the intermittency issue.
It's a bit strange.
It's strange, and I can't see how you will introduce such subsidies without creating a new tax again. So we have to watch very carefully all these regulatory work going on in the different countries at this moment regarding the non-commodity part of the power bill, because it's gonna change, and these changes might not always have a good result for every buyer of energy.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your explanations, Benedict.
You're welcome.